That's when everybody runs back. Oh God, oh God, oh God. You know, sincerest prayers are then, right? This is calamity has struck. But that kind of prayer, it doesn't mean anything. Really, before God, everybody will do that. Imagine the atheist who was standing on the top floor of the Twin Towers when the planes hit and the building is going. What do you think they were saying? Oh God, oh God, oh God, screaming, you know, even louder than the Christians that were there, right? Oh God, oh God, oh God, because nothing else. What is? You see, the whole building is going down. You know, that's it. There's no way out. So, if even the atheist will do it at that time, then it means that type of prayer then doesn't have real value. Doesn't have real value. The real value is to establish that worship. That's why the Quran says, "Aqimus salah," establish the prayer, lidhikri, in order to remember me. That is it. That is the goal. To keep that remembrance, that consciousness of God throughout one's day. So here, and we can go through the rest of the pillars of Islam. Of course, time doesn't really permit us to do that. But we need to attack or to approach the principles of Islam with this kind of approach. Prioritizing, putting what is primary and what is secondary in their proper place. Because if we do what is secondary when we should be doing what is primary, we're wasting time. We're wasting time. Some people, for example, even, you know, on a technical point, if you have something which is obligatory and something which is recommended, then you do the obligatory thing. That comes first. That is priority. So, for example, in the early morning prayer, Fajr, when you come into the mosque and the Iqamah has been given for the Fard, the obligatory prayer, then for you to go and do Sunnah prayers is not correct. It's not correct. Some people do it, feeling that it's very important, but it's not as important as the Fard. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ had said, whenever the Iqamah is given for the obligatory prayer, no other prayer is acceptable but that obligatory prayer. That's prioritizing. The obligatory is given priority over the recommended. So we have to approach the religion and all aspects of the religion in the same way. In terms of parents, for example, priority in terms of their children is to raise them highly educated, intelligent, super sophisticated individuals? Or is the real goal to raise them righteous Muslims? This is the point. For a lot of parents, this is confused. They're not clear as to really what the goal is. So they will sacrifice this principle of raising righteous children for the dunya, for being a top doctor, lawyer, engineer, etc. Sacrificing the spiritual life of that child for the material world. Of course, if we're able to bring two things together, then it's a good thing. But if we ever have to make a choice between the two, and I hear it when people talk about Islamic schools and public schools. Well, the Islamic school, the standard of education is this, that, and the other. But the public school or the non-Muslim private school, you know, this is top of the line. They got the top of the line teachers, etc., etc. And I'm concerned about my child's future. What future? future in this world. So I'm going to take my child out of the Islamic school, or I won't even put them in the Islamic school, and put them in this other school. This is actually spiritual suicide that we're doing to our children. Where are our priorities? They're upside down. If the kid goes to Islamic school, they graduate, and their academics happen to be weak, we can always get tutors to help them fix it. But if they go through the government schools or other private schools, Catholic school or whatever, and their Islam becomes weak, messed up, you bring Maulana, Sheikh to come and try and fix it, you can't fix it now. This kid is a graduate from high school. They have their own way of thinking, their own mind now. You try to tell them, Allah, Prophet, the Quran, please. I heard it. I hear you. Talk to the hand. Whatever. You know, you've lost them. You can't fix it. So we have to be clear about priorities. Similarly, when we come to marriage, this is another big issue in the community, marriage. We all know the well-known hadith of the Prophet, in which he said, may God's peace and blessing be upon him, a woman and a man is married for 4 reasons. Right? Beauty, wealth, family status, and piety. He said what? Choose the pious one and you'll be successful. That is the criterion. Piety. That comes before all. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ also had said that if a young man comes to you as a father, seeking the hand of your daughter, and you're satisfied with his religiosity, that he's a religious guy, he's a pious guy, and his character, because of course he might appear to be a pious guy, but he's got bad character. Okay, that means it's just appearances, it's not the person. Right? He needs these two, because good character is a product of real piety. Bad character is a product of a lack of piety. So these are signs. But if that person comes to you and seeks the hand of your daughter, and she agrees, then if you don't marry them, there will be corruption in the land. There will be corruption throughout the land. So this is the criterion. But if we said that the goal is to raise righteous children, are you going to raise those righteous children with an unrighteous wife? See, obviously these two come together. The priority for parents is to raise righteous children. They themselves have to be pious. They have themselves to be righteous. You have to be what you want your children to become. If you're not what you want your children to become, they're going to be like you. That's how children are, for the most part. So this is an issue, again, of prioritizing.